Disney breaks away from Gazillion and shuts down Marvel Heroes.
Sucks, man.
I can honestly say I've never played it.
Yeah, I can also honestly say that as well.
I didn't play Ultimate Alliance either. I mean, I've said it before on the podcast that I'm not a huge comic book guy. A lot of the, backstory and lore for all of that stuff is kind of lost on me because I didn't grow up with them. And because of that, I just kind of didn't have the appeal to play it.
Yeah.
But that being said, it sucks because I knew they did have a pretty loyal community.
And it was a cool game concept. I mean, Marvel's Diablo is that's a good idea, and I mean, I think that it was a good idea.
It's a shame though, because I feel like
it's a shame, right?
I feel like Gazillion didn't really do anything wrong. I think the only thing they did wrong from the start was make it free to play. Because you do look at games like Diablo, and any of these isometric, like Pillars of Eternity or even Divinity, any of these isometric kind of top-down hack and slash games, and they all charge up front, and you kind of need to, because how are you going to really milk that? The
only game I know of
it
is the only game I know of that's free to play that is like that is Paths of Exile, which I've not really put a ton of time into, but I think they do it where it's like the curve is so steep that I don't know, but I presume it's got a steep curve to make it incentivize you to pay. But you might be right. The game might not have been making any money. I mean, that might have been the issue with Disney. That this just wasn't making money, and it wasn't making money.
I mean, within a year of launch, they ended up having like 3 rounds of layoffs within 1 year of the game launching, and that just forced a lot of the workers and a lot of the staff that was still there to pile up extra work on themselves. And that's not really right, for one. And that definitely hurts your content, and it definitely hurts how quickly you can get stuff out of the door. But apparently, according to a lot of the player base and what was going on Reddit from their Reddit threads, the players kind of knew something was off, because one thing that came from Gazillion, they were very open and transparent about everything. They gave weekly updates to everybody. They told them this is what we're working on, this is what we're trying to flesh out for you guys, and they kind of made them a part of the growth process for that game.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're right.
It was the last post they even put out on social media was October 16th, and then they heard nothing from them for a whole month until Disney tweeted it out. Hey guys, we're dropping Gazillion. We broke off our deal with Gazillion. We will be shutting down Marvel Heroes.
The question I would have is, does this mean that Disney is looking to someone else to start up a Marvel deal with, and they kind of were well, they don't want to have a
competitive game on the market?
Right, exactly. They want the market to be kind of just the one Marvel game out at a time, so they can dominate the same way they've done with Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, they're shutting the servers down. It's not like they're passing this off to anybody else. So the Marvel Hero servers will die off on December 31st, 2017. They're shutting them down. Now, that may mean that, yes, okay, there's something else coming out. Disney, it's about time for a new Marvel franchise game to come out, and I know...
Yeah.
I mean, we've got the Spider-Man game coming out, which I think is going to bring a revival of people wanting those, those comic book hero games back.
Story-driven games, yeah. You get a certain level of joy just from being able to play your favorite character, not so much
yeah, for sure.
What you're playing them in. There hasn't been a big Marvel release. I remember Ultimate Alliance. I did play those games.
This is basically the spiritual successor.
Right, this is spiritual successor to that. Right. But that's all there's been. That's it. It hasn't been anything else up until this new Spider-Man game. That's been all Marvel's really done.
Yep.
It's Marvel Alliance and Marvel Heroes.
I mean, I guess Capcom...
actually, that's not true. There is
Marvel.
Capcom versus... Yeah, exactly. That's true. There's Capcom versus Marvel coming out soon.
True. So I guess that is coming out soon. But...
yeah. Gazillion, like you said, I don't think they did anything wrong. as a game developer, I think that it's just there wasn't enough interest in the game. It probably wasn't making enough money, and again, on that third point, Disney might be working on something new, and they don't want Marvel Heroes to take away from it, if that makes sense.